In the 4-hour work week, Tim Ferriss is going to be arguing that you can create a full-time income with just 4 hours per week of your time. Now, this is teaching you something that you didn't learn in school, which means that after you graduate high school or graduate university, you do not need to get a job where you work 40 or more hours per week to make a sustainable living wage. On my blog at brendanmace.com, I share my income reports every single month. So if you've been following me for a while now, you know that I make around $7,000 to $10,000 every month. Well, how much time does it take me to make that kind of income? The answer is that my business really only takes about 10 to 20 minutes per day to maintain. So if I didn't care about growing my business, it would really only take me about 10 to 20 minutes and I'd still make that $7,000 to $10,000 per month income stream. However, if I wanted to grow my business, the growth comes in the extra time that I spend. But still, the idea that you can spend 4 hours per week and still get a sustainable living wage is 100% possible. So do not believe the doubters out there that say that the 4-hour work week is not possible. Believe me, the 2-hour work week is possible. But what are the challenges to a 4-hour work week? Because it sounds great. I'm sure that most people that see the book, The 4-Hour Work Week, or they hear about it, think that this is an amazing fantasy that must be just a beautiful, beautiful lifestyle. Well, the reality is that there's really two challenges. The first challenge is you're not going to be able to start a business with just 4 hours and grow it into a sustainable income stream. So when Tim Ferriss says that you can have a 4-hour work week, you really have to build up to the point where you can just lay back and let the automated processes take their course. But in the process of setting up a business, nobody's going to set up a really highly profitable business with just 4 hours per week. You need more time than that. The second challenge is that no matter how much time you put into your work, whether it's 40 hours or 4 or 2, you still need to be doing something in your life that you're passionate about. So for a lot of people, they use work to exercise their passion. So let's say, for example, that you're a high school teacher, right? And you're teaching the kids. Sure, your salary might only be $40,000 per year and you'd be working long hours. Who would ever take that job? Well, obviously they have people to take that job. And the reason for that is because it's what people want to do. It's their calling. So even though you might like the fantasy of working for a little period of time and then just relaxing for the rest, it gets old fast. And I can tell you that from personal experience. The good news is that your passion does not have to be your work. And I know that we're all used to in our everyday lives to attach so much of our identities to what we do for a living, but it really doesn't have to be that way. It's like the second question that everybody asks. They always say, hey, what's your name? And the second question is, what do you do? And when people ask, what do you do? They're not really saying, what are the kind of activities that you like to do? What have you read? What are your hobbies? What they're really asking is, what is your occupation? And that's the sad reality of the world that we live in. Now, if you do manage to break through and you create a 4-hour work week type business, which is entirely possible, I've done it myself, then you're going to have a heck of a lot of extra time to spend your life trying to find your passion. Okay. Now, some great examples of ways that you can exercise your passion, and I'll use myself as a personal example, is me and my now fiance, Caitlin, for the last 8 months before we just came back to Canada here, we were traveling all over the world. So we were started in Colombia, down in Medellin, Colombia down there. Then we went up to Panama City. Then we went over to Thailand, Cambodia, and then Vietnam. And then eventually we came back to Canada because we missed Panago Pizza, which is a little bit of a joke. If you know Canada, the Panago Pizza is very, very good. But all jokes aside, we were able to just enjoy ourselves and explore and adventure and get out into the world. And we didn't really have any obligations because I had this online digital business that I could maintain with just about 10 to 20 minutes of my time per day. So I could get up in the morning, take care of my business, and the rest of the day we could go out and explore. Now, believe me, the last 8 months have been great, right? But they wouldn't have been great if I would have just stayed at home and laid in bed and slept the 8 months away. So yes, you're going to have a much larger amount of time, but don't waste it watching TV, because believe it or not, it does not take that long for that to get old. So the answer to the question, is the 4-hour work week possible, is absolutely. It's 100% doable. But in order for the 4-hour work week to be a good experience for you, you need to find something worthwhile to do with the rest of your time. Now, that could be learning a new language, that could be falling in love, that could be doing salsa dancing in Colombia. Believe me, there's a lot of cool stuff that you can do, but don't keep the routine that you have now while working your 9-to-5 job when you lose those hours. You are going to do what's known as filling the void, which means filling the extra hours that are given to you from having an automated business. Now, Tim Ferriss actually addresses this in the 4-hour work week in chapter 15, and it's titled Filling the Void. So he does give you some pointers on that as well. My advice to you is to brainstorm what would be your dream lifestyle. So what would you be doing in your life if money was absolutely of no consequence? So if you were a billionaire, you didn't have to worry about money, what would you choose to do? Now, for some of us, it's not going to be possible. If you want a yacht and you want a jet and you're worried about status or objects or just like owning stuff, then no, you're probably not going to be able to do that with a 4-hour work week. However, if it's something like traveling, or if it's something like learning a new language, or if it's learning how to do karate, or maybe you just want to spend a few months laying by a beach with a drink in your hand, whatever you want to do, you can really play it by ear and experience all the things that you want on your checklist. Everything you want to do in your life, you can do because you now have the time frame to do it. Tim Ferriss calls this in his book, The New Rich, which means that in the world that we live in today, there's basically two kinds of currencies. There's the dollars that you're used to working and spending all your time to get, and then there's time. So somebody who makes $150,000, $200,000 per year might or might not be considered a part of the new rich if they don't have any time. So if you have to work 70-hour work weeks to be able to make a big amount of money, then you're not rich according to Tim Ferriss's New Rich, because you're using all your time. Sure, you're collecting money, but you don't really have anything to spend that money on because you don't have the time to enjoy it. The new rich, on the other hand, does not need that much wealth, because when you're trading dollars for pesos or you're trading dollars for baht, your money can go a lot further. So you could just be making $30,000 or $40,000 per hour, living in an area of the world where the cost of living is lower and enjoying a better lifestyle with more time. That would be considered the new rich. So under the traditional understandings of being wealthy, you would say, okay, somebody who makes $150,000 or $200,000 is clearly in a better off situation. However, if you subscribe to Tim Ferriss's thinking, which is something that I subscribe to, he's saying that it depends. You might make $200,000, but how much time do you have, right? So that's the second currency. The second currency is time, which is why I absolutely love the 4-hour work week, because it's not just telling you how to get rich quick or how to build an online business. He's instead focusing on a lifestyle business that will make you enough money to do the things that you want to do and enough time to enjoy them. If you want to learn how to create the 4-hour work week, then first of all, get Tim Ferriss's book because it's great. I've read it myself. But secondly, make sure you subscribe to the Brendan Mace YouTube channel. I have lots of videos on here that are going to show you and help you and guide you along the way. Now, there's a lot of YouTube channels out there that talk about online marketing, but very few YouTube channels actually have videos that show you step by step how to make money online. Now, if you look through a lot of my videos that I have on my channel, I actually give you a step-by-step blueprint about how to build a business in a lot of different areas, including ClickBank, Facebook, email lists, and even niche websites. So if you're interested in building an online business and getting this passive income lifestyle, then subscribe to my YouTube channel and check out the rest of my videos. As always, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.